Yeah. Hello everyone, and welcome to Big Jack Outdoors. This is my first update for 2021, and my first update since September when I was doing my MIMAC ride from Detroit up to Mackinac City. So a lot of things have changed since then. First thing first, of course, I have changed the name of the channel. Instead of Fat Guy Cycling, we are now Big Jack Outdoors. And mainly I did that because, well, the name of the channel just wasn't really fitting anymore. It was, I can't just limit myself to cycling. Already I was expanded into camping and getting myself involved in being a hammock aficionado, which has expanded a lot since last year. And now I'm going into hiking as well. And pretty much any outdoor activity I will be featuring here, including snowboarding, which I got out and did a little bit of that this winter. So, as a grand introduction, my name is Jack. I am a large guy, but I've been losing a lot of weight and enjoying my life outside, getting out and doing as much activity as I can. Starting 3 years ago, my weight peaked out at 370 pounds, and I finally decided enough was enough. I needed to start losing some weight. So, starting out with, I got myself a TerraTrike Rover, a recumbent trike that had the weight capacity of 400 pounds, which meant that it was something that would actually be able to hold my weight as well as carrying camping gear along with it. One of the few cycles that I could find that could actually do that. And with that, and with starting last year, I started doing a ketogenic diet. By the time September ran around, I was down to 255 pounds, losing well over 120, losing pretty much 80 pounds of that last year. And through the fall, I got off the plan a little bit, relaxed, and I've gotten myself back up to 270. But now that the weather is turning and we have just spectacular weather going around, it is very quickly going to be starting to shed off as I get out here and start getting active again. So I'm just out here in the Metro Park, taking a walk, bringing my 1-year-old Chihuahua puppy along with us. She'll probably be joining me on a lot of my camping trips this summer because she absolutely loves sleeping in the hammock with me. So, also, in last year, since I did get my weight down as far as I did, I bought a new bike because the TerraTrike Rover, it was limiting me considerably in that it only has 8 speeds to it with the drivetrain it had, and it just wasn't fast enough. I was spinning out at 15 miles an hour and I wanted to go faster. I wanted more. So I went with an HP Velotechnic Street Machine recumbent bike, because that's one thing, is I knew I wanted to keep the recumbent. It was just too comfortable not to. And with this one, it has a weight capacity of 285 pounds. So I hit the goal weight of actually being able to use the thing. And as long as I keep my weight down, I can also throw panniers on it or throw a trailer on it, as I might do this year. And I've already put 1,500 miles on that bike, and it is wonderful. I will be doing an in-depth review of it later on this year as well. And once winter really started setting in, I did get some studded tires for the HP Velotechnic. Got out for a few good winter rides. Getting out in fresh snow on the trails is a lot of fun. And then I also got back into snowboarding. I used to do a lot of snowboarding in years past because back in high school I lived in Crested Butte, Colorado, right on the ski resort. So I was able to get out and snowboard whenever I wanted, pretty much. Yeah, that was definitely a lot of fun this year, getting out again. And also getting out and trying snowboard cross course for the first time. So, as with last year, I had some big plans going into the year of 2020. I was signed up for the Pedal Across Lower Michigan bike ride, as well as the Dick Allen Lansing to Mackinac Delmac ride, which unfortunately both of those got canceled. When it came to the Palm, I didn't really plan too much. I just went out and did a little bit of overnight camping. But in place of the Delmac, I did the MIMAC. And I traveled 350 miles in 6 days to get from northern Detroit to Mackinac City. And that was a feat in and of itself for distance for me, getting in an average of 60 miles a day and actually making it. It was an exhilarating experience, and I can't wait to do more of it. Unfortunately, when it came to day 7 and starting my trip south, I took the wrong path. Good morning. It is Saturday. Saturday, September 5th. And I am on day 7 of the MIMAC tour. I have made it to Mackinac City and gotten a sight of the Mackinac Bridge. A very sad thing that I can't ride over it. That would be a wonderful experience. And now I am on my way south. I am traveling through some rough trails in Wilderness State Park in order to cut through and get to the southwest corner and pick up the west side shore road. I mean, just the fact that I have been going for 6 days straight of averaging 60 miles a day, and I'm still feeling great that I'm going for another 61 miles today, and I want to keep going. It's been a success. I have successfully toured. Looks like I'm now on a single track here, but at least, yeah, it's got good clearance. My drive tires got good grip. And we'll see how far this takes me. Oh boy. Well, this is going to be some shit. But I'm too far into the forest to turn back now. I gotta push through and hopefully I get out of it eventually. Wish me luck. Failure isn't an option, it's mandatory. The option is to whether that failure is the last thing you do or not. It's a maxim from a web cartoon series that I have enjoyed watching a lot, and I have a little commemorative coin from that series with that maxim on it. I figured it would make a nice token to have for the travels, because I figured something was bound to happen that it would fail. And you know, like I said, failure isn't an option, it's mandatory. It's bound to happen, but it's whether you let that make you quit. This today is going to make me quit this tour. It makes this a mandatory failure. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to quit writing. It doesn't mean that I'm going to quit camping. It doesn't mean I'm going to quit touring. I'm going to keep on and use this as a lesson on double checking my routes before I go and actually take them. Definitely getting my fill of physical activity today. It's about 2 miles of this that unfortunately I'm doing in 3 steps. I'm taking the trike, then I'm taking my saddlebags, then I'm taking my trailer. Because taking the whole thing together is just a little bit much to drag through all this. But I'm soldiering through. Once I get out, I'll find cell signal and get a rescue for myself. It's not quite at the point that I need to call in search and rescue for me with my spot. Even though it would be free, it's not like my life is at risk here. I'm not going to do that. So I'm just hiking back and forth. Once I get saddlebags and trailer from this section, I've got about 1.3 miles left to go. I'm managing to get about 0.1 to 0.15 miles per leg, which is not too horrible. That means that 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm doing 5 laps out of 10 miles. Yeah, that's a lot of walking. But hey, I've been doing 60-mile rides, and now half this walking is unladen. I'll make it. And I ended up on a hiking trail, and instead of turning back, I figured I'll just push through this. It's only going to be a couple of miles of it, and it's not going to be too bad. No. It ended up being the worst decision I could have made. And I slogged walking back and forth to portage the trike and trailer and bags in 3 separate sets for that entire area, until eventually I did get some help from a park ranger and some very helpful day hikers that were out. They helped me get the stuff to the trailhead, where I was then able to be transported back to the campground and stay another night until I was able to be taken home. And I basically called off the trip at that point, mainly because I also took that opportunity to discover that my rear wheel had the rim split. So that definitely put an end to the whole trip at that point. On the upside of that, though, I can say that TerraTrike has a fantastic warranty for their first-time owners. And they shipped out an entire new rear wheel and shifter for me. I had the Sturmey Archer 8-speed on it, but they didn't carry that anymore, so they upgraded me to a new Vinci continuously variable internal geared system. It's got the same gear range as the Sturmey, but it doesn't have any discrete gears. It's all very smooth. I've gotten out on that once this spring, and I have to say, it's a pretty nice system. Definitely feels a lot more efficient. But that was fantastic support from them on that. So I might get some camping trips out with the trike. Mainly, I think that's going to go for the wife, so that she can start getting some riding in herself and start losing weight along with me. So then that brings us into this year and February, when I got invited to a hammock hang out in the Manistee National Forest along the North Country Trail, and camping right alongside the Boardman River in February, where the low temperature got to 8 degrees. I decided that that was something I really wanted to expand into, getting into hiking, getting into a new challenge. Once you've biked across the state, you got to find something new to challenge yourself with. So I decided, let's do hiking. Anyway, so I didn't have too much that I needed to buy in order to start hiking. And mainly I needed, of course, a pack. And after doing my research, I went with a Granite Gear Crown 60 liter, which when getting it for $140 and weighing around 2.5 pounds, it was something that I determined was light enough, cheap enough, and strong enough to do what I needed. And as anyone who has shopped for outdoor gear, you know you have that Venn diagram trifecta of price, weight, and strength. That you can get two of them easily, but you can be very trying to be getting all three of them at once. And I felt the Granite Gear actually managed to get all three of those enough that I'm very happy with the pack. The other thing I needed was insulation. So I ended up getting, on short notice, I got an Outdoor Vitals Loft-Tech 0 degree underquilt. That thing kept me very toasty warm, especially once I got my hang angle exactly right. And I stayed quite warm. With coupling that, I also used my Hammock Gear top quilt that I had from last summer. It's only a 40 degree, but I added a fleece blanket that I had custom made last fall. And having those two, along with what I was wearing, I was very toasty warm. I had done a couple of test hangs in some trees that we had next to the house, getting down to 18 and 14 degrees on those two, and stayed perfect temperature. So that was an experience. We hiked about 2.5 miles in on the trail to get there. Going in, it was a kind of day-old snow, and it wasn't too hard hiking on it. Coming out, while we were there, we had about 8 inches fall. So it was a heavy day of snow, and it just kept going while we were out there. So coming out, it was a little bit harder. I was basically post-holing it on my way out and doing the best I could to keep in the tracks of the snowshoers that were there with us. So after that, we got lots of plans for this summer now. Next month, I'm going to be going on a multi-nighter on the Manistee River Loop, which is going to be a lot of fun. And then later in June, tentatively, I'm going on a kayaking trip way out on the Upper Peninsula. And then we get to my cycling trip plans. Now, like I said, last year I was signed up for the Palm and the Dalmac. They canceled them. And I said, don't worry, we'll automatically roll your registration over to next year. And we'll definitely go then. Well, as of right now, the Palm is definitely canceled. And that's disappointing. And it doesn't bode well right now with the way things are going. The Dalmac will probably be canceled for the same reason again. So now I'm in the plans on what am I going to do with those weeks that I'm requesting vacation for. For the Palm, I'm planning a pedal around Lower Michigan. I've tentatively got a route planned out that'll get me a 6-day loop going west, north, and then back east, following most of the Fred Meyer trail network. And that should be a lot of fun. Planning to camp out at a couple of hip camps I've got along the way, a couple of dispersed campings and state and national forest lands. It'll be a lot of fun. But, you know, with the way things are going, I could do a hike as well. I've also got considerations that I might do a bike and hike. I could spend a few days going north into the Huron National Forest, and then if I could find some place to securely keep the bike, I can then transfer my load over to the backpack and go hike a trail for a little bit. So, all in all, I have a lot of activity planned for this summer. So, should be a lot of great videos. So if this is your first time checking me out, definitely subscribe and you'll see a lot more coming. I have to say, personally, I never even thought I would make it, but I just crossed 100 subscribers. So this is great. We'll see how much more I get. Definitely more reviews of equipment coming. And just a lot of adventures of a big guy getting out and enjoying life. So thanks for watching, and enjoy life. Go out there and have fun. See ya.